Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop.
What's going on, everybody out there in TV world, on YouTube Live and on Facebook Live? What's going on, y'all? Tonight, we come to you guys to interrupt your regular scheduled program for a hot topic. It's going to be hot tonight, guys. So before we start, let me just say this real quick. These are the views and opinions of these guys on here. Again, these are the views and their opinion. Please don't try to kill them. Yes, I want you guys to comment, but do not try to eat them up because you don't agree. You can disagree, but be respectful, all right? With that saying, welcome to Nuts and Boltz of Life. I'm Edmund Chapman. I am your host, and I'm the CEO of Stop Playing Apparel.
Yeah, and I'm DJ Play, Carlos King.
I'm Sheena.
And I'm Obi.
And today, guys, we got three guests. Oh, yeah, we got a full panel. We got three guests. And you know I got to start with family. I got to introduce family first. We got my lovely, beautiful, smart, witty, intelligent, the most realest person I know. Hard knocks would knock you out if she have to, with words or with a fist. April, give us a hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Next, we have, and April is a mother of three charming young men. Yes, sir. She is. Next, we got Lania. I'm sorry. Jacking up her name. My bad. Lania. Lania is is a part of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She is a mother of a 10-year-old boy. She is a wife. She is a project manager. She is a go-getter. She is a person that strives for excellence. She's a busy, savvy woman, and she has a smile that can brighten up any room. Say hello to the people.
Hi, guys.
Last but not least, we got my brother, my main man, Derek, of Grown Man Styles. Hey, sometimes y'all see me with a suit on. Sometimes y'all see me with a field jacket on. Derek be styling me. Derek is a grown man stylist, and he is a photographer. He is a father of three beautiful children, a husband, a man of God. He is a content creator. He is like a jack of all trade. My homie Derek. Derek, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody? Ed, thanks for having me, man.
Oh, no problem. So yeah, tonight we about to get into this thing, y'all. So tonight's topic is
My bad.
single parent household versus two parents household. Again, y'all, it's okay. It is single parent household versus two parent household. Now, we're not saying that it's an absentee father or a trash mother or anything like that. We're just going to talk about the difference between two parents in a home versus one. So we're going to start off with Mr. Johnson. So, Mr. Johnson, before you get your thoughts together on just a brief idea what you think the topic is about or how you feel about the topic, that's real brief. Go have questions, follow-up questions. I just want to say, guys, right now, you can like this video, share. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And if you ever want to be a part of this panel discussion, because I don't call it a podcast because podcast is whatever. We are a panel of discussions, always new people on here, new faces. If you ever want to be a part of this, you can hit me up on Instagram at Edmund L. Chapman or Facebook at Edmund Chapman or on YouTube. Just leave a comment. We love the comments, negative or good. We read them all. It's okay. Leave a comment. But right now, enough of that talking. Derek, let's get into it.
So look, there's a lot of conversation going on about that subject and more. Most of us are products of our upbringing, right? So I was brought up in a 2-parent household. My parents have been married for going on 52 years. I'm trying to get halfway there. I'm at 22 years myself. So I'm always going to be pro family, pro 2-parent household, because that's what I'm used to. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. Is it easy? And when I ask that question, we look at it from the standpoint of the marriage, right? Because husband and wife taking care of kids. I like to talk about it. Ed knows this because we've been in couples group together, that the family starts with the husband and the wife. It doesn't start when you have kids. It starts when you get married. So really, we can't have this conversation without first start talking about the nuclear family, which is the husband and the wife. So my position straight off the bat is 100% 2-parent household.
Thank you, Derek. Thank you for that spiel. We're gonna go with my boy Obi. Let's go Obi next. I like Obi. I'll have something good to say. Obi, what you think? That's about the topic in general.
I think it's a good topic. I was raised in a 2-parent household. Also, my mother and father have been married for 52 years, almost. I was married also, but divorced and became a single parent. So I understand both parts of the spectrum. I would lean towards the single parent side because that's what I know and that's what I did for my life and my kids.
Good, Obi. Good. I like it. All right. So we gonna come around to Miss Lania. Lania, what do you think that's about the topic? That's a brief summary of what you think about the topic. You gotta go too deep. That's what you think about it.
I do think that it is a really interesting topic, something that is discussed quite often. I am also, I've have experience on both sides. I was raised in a single parent household, but I am raising a child in a 2-parent household. So I think it'll be good. I think it'll be some good conversations for sure.
All right, we're gonna come over to my favorite cousin, my keep it real cousin. Don't hold back. What do you think about it in general? We got questions. What do you think about it in general?
In general, I think it's definitely a conversation that for years now. Yeah, maybe much. I did grow up in a parent household. I am raising my children in a single parent household, so I think it will be an interesting conversation.
Thank you. Sheena, what do you think about the topic?
I think it is a very good topic to discuss. I started off in a single parent household and then I moved to a 2-parent household. As of right now, I am a single parent, but I do strive to get what my parents have because they have been married for 38 years. So I do want that eventually.
All right. And last but not least, DJ Play, give us your outlook of the topic at hand.
But you already know I love this topic. Because I seen both sides, the single parents and 2 parents, and I observed both and the effects they have on the kids. So yeah, I love it.
So let me ask y'all a question. Is the goal, if it ever was, I guess maybe like grandparents' days, but is the goal still to have a 2-parent home, or is it like it is what it is? Is that still a goal for people nowadays, or is it just like, it is what it is, and I can make it on my own? Or 2-parent home is what I really strive for, or want, or would like. Anybody can jump in. Let's go, Clay. Go ahead, go.
I really strive for 2 parents home. I really, because I seen the single parent home, and it was a struggle. I grew up in a single parent home, and the struggle was real. I be want to ask my mom, hey, what happened to y'all? Why y'all ain't together? God damn. Being here poor as hell. I was struggling up in here. So I like, man, when I grow up, I ain't leaving my kids like in this struggle like this?
Okay.
I think the goal is still to have a two-parent household. I mean, it's just it seems to work better financially. Um, I think financially is really the main thing, but also having the male and female perspective for the child, and being able to embrace the child on both ends. However, if it's toxic, and it'll do more harm to the child than good, then ultimately you're gonna have to do what's best. I do think that the goal is and has always been for most people, you know, for it to be two people, because it's easier. It's just easier.
April, what do you think about this?
So I think that everybody that I would make single parent household is it'll be fine if the money's there. Nobody ever single parent household. Everybody always discuss the way.
April, hold on 1 second. Your phone is kind of breaking up. I'm
Uh-oh.
catching every other word.
Let's try it again.
So we're gonna come back to you. Derek, jump in real quick.
Yeah, I'm pro single two parent household, but I do think that marriage as an institution is taking a bad rap. You know, unfortunately, divorce rates are high, even among Christians, that's not good. But I have no doubt that the institution of marriage is still strong. I just think there are a lot of skeptics. And unfortunately, we're all skeptics based on our own personal experiences. So if somebody has a bad experience about anything, their whole worldview is going to be based on that. So I could talk all day long about how good my marriage is, how good my parents' marriage was. But if somebody has a negative experience in their own marriage, that's what's going to drive. But all we can do is have conversations like this. And I'm always going to be the standard bearer for the marriage relationship. So I think it's a little bit on both sides. I think the institution and the desire is still out there. I think a lot of people either have given up, they go into marriages with the wrong expectations, or they just decide, I'm just gonna have me a baby and I'm gonna make it work. So there's a lot of different things going on now, whereas I think with our parents and grandparents, it was an expectation that you were gonna get married first, you're gonna have kids, and you're gonna do the whole traditional thing. I just think now what's traditional has maybe become the exception and not the rule.
Derek, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna stay with you for a second. So when you think about two-parent home, are we saying both biological parents? Are we saying maybe a step parent? Are we saying grandparents? What do you think about that? Are we saying maybe if me and my cousin live together, we're two people in the home? What do you think about that?
Ideally, biological mother, biological father, have a baby, raise them. That doesn't always happen, right? Because they're blended families all over the place. My wife is the product of a blended family. And so I would say if there are two parents in the household who are committed to each other. Now, I know you gave different scenarios. I'm just going to pick the scenario that I like as most ideal. Two parents in a household that are in a committed covenant relationship, who communicate and can develop kind of child rearing strategies that work. I think that's the ideal position. Is that the only position that'll work? Obviously not, but I feel like that's the ideal setup for success. That doesn't mean that a two-parent biological mother-father household, that child is going to automatically turn out better than the child from a single household. So it really depends on the work that's put in, the temperament of the child. There's a whole bunch of factors that kind of play into that. But I would say the traditional biological mother-father.
Okay, hold on, guys. So Facebook, the topic is two-parent household versus a single-parent household. That's what we're talking about tonight. Some people with the two parents, some people say with the single, and we're seeing their views and opinions about that. Does it work? Can it work if you by yourself? Would you? I was the ideal still to be with the two-parent, or if one parent can make it shake. All right, April, we're gonna get back to you.
No, I was just Can you hear me this time? I was just
Yes.
saying that it's a matter of access to things. If we're talking from the standpoint of how the kids are raised, it's just a matter of access to stuff. It's like Clay just said, it was a struggle inside the home, but had his mother's financial situation been different, it wouldn't have been a struggle, and it wouldn't have come off the same way. And I get the difference between that. I think that we should probably talk more about people's access. Two parents inside of a home without much access to resources is going to give you the same type of upbringing as a single parent home the same way. I think that's just more what it depends on. But as far as marriage goes, I think marriage is an institution that everybody is not willing to get into. But kids is just somehow not as, I don't know what the word I want to use, but somehow marriage is always, it seems like marriage is always second and kids are always first in people's thoughts.
Okay, I want to stay with you real quick. I want to stay with you on that. So you said, so say if let's say you live in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So what we said about 80 ball to be good for one person? 90
with one kid?
Yeah.
Multiple children, because
let's go your situation, right? 3 kids. Let's say you make 110 by yourself.
Yeah.
So you're saying that that's good. You don't really need another partner because you financially be able to do what you need to do. That's your position?
I think that it is a big difference between a parent who has 3 kids with, I don't know, Section 8 and public aid, and a parent who has 3 children with $250,000 a year at their disposal. I think that is a big difference. I think the access that the children have to things, even to sports, to schools, to all of those things, I think that makes a difference. I do.
Do everybody agree? Anybody disagree with that statement?
There's a
flip. You agree or disagree?
There's a flip side to that, right? Because I'm sure we all know of affluent people whose kids are horrible, right? Yeah. They're entitled, they're spoiled, they're horrible human beings because of all the access they've had. So there's a flip side to that. And so it's a combination. I agree. It's a combination of access, but also like literally nuts and bolts. What are you doing with your child? Are you letting the money raise them? Are you letting, the streets raise them? Or are you getting down and dirty and raising them yourself? Case in point, before I got on this call, I was working with my son on a project. I'm the homework dad. I'm the homework parent. It's because I'm more patient. Historically, that might be the mom, but I'm the more patient one. So I've helped all 3 of my kids with homework projects. So my older daughter, who's a senior, has a project. They just know we're going to go to dad. So I think if the effort is there, whether you have a lot of access or not, or that access changes from the time the first kid is born to the time the 3rd kid is born, as the access moves up or down, the baseline kind of like parental effort still needs to be there.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to go to Facebook real quick. Keep that thought. We're about to keep that thought. So Daniel Stitwell said the 2-parent household has to be a healthy relationship. A single parent household has to be healthy. If you grow up with either in a toxic household, it doesn't really matter. Of course, it's preferable to have both parents. That's Daniel's stance. Anybody else want to jump in on agree with April, disagree, agree with Derek, disagree?
I'll jump in. So I definitely agree with April. It's definitely a difference. Like speaking for myself, being a single parent, and I only have 1 child, and it still sometimes is a struggle. However, the difference with my situation is I have a village behind me. So if I need help, like for somebody to step in, like when I have work, or if I need my child picked up from school or anything like that, then I have somebody to step in for that. So it definitely helps if you have a village behind you being a single parent. Now, when you're in a 2-parent household, of course, you may not need that village as much because you have that extra help. So,
okay. Play, what you think about that?
I agree with that. You know, just yeah,
I'm
because
talking
the
about the
struggle
money
can be real.
aspect. Like, would you agree about the money aspect? If a single person can afford it, it's still good, or you still need that two parent.
You still need that two parent, whether they can afford it or not, because you know the kids they need sometimes they need supervising. You know, and especially if you got girls. If you got girls, because I dealt with 3 girls, and it's a time when I wasn't there. I have me and my wife separated, and those girls was doing all type of stuff. You know, I had to so I had to get back in there. Because you don't know. You need both parents because one parent could be working so much. She doing 8 hours of work, then she gonna need about 6 hours of sleep on top of that, and the kid is just doing anything within that little 14 hours they get away with. You know, so yeah,
So are you saying that is it important to have a man in the house? Is that
yes,
your stance on it?
yeah, pretty much.
Why is it important to have a man in the house?
Why is it? Because the man, they, for some reason, they respect the man authority a little bit more.
Mm.
For example, like it's a lot of time when
Oh, let's go. I see head shaking. Let's go. It's go time. Come on, play. Bring it. Don't
it's
hey.
a lot of time when I give you, you know, me and my wife be in the room, and the kids probably be in the room with us, and my wife probably be like, "Okay, y'all go to bed," and they will linger around like they ain't hear nothing she said until I get up and say, "Hey, get your ass to bed." They jump up and leave. you know,
So is
so
it because you're a man or is it because you got loud?
Mm.
Come
Probably
on
both.
now. Come on.
Probably
Don't
both.
stutter. Let's go.
It's probably both. Cause they ain't, I only had to say things one time. My wife had to say it about 3 or 4 times before they do it. I don't know if it was because I got loud with them or, but the man in the house, you need a man in the house, especially financially, and get these kids right. Because some of these kids be trying to take over them, especially boys. They can tell their mama what to do sometimes.
I think
Not man.
Yeah.
Ned's gonna
Not
jump
mad. I
in.
don't know who
Not
jumping in.
man.
You said you need a man in the house financially, but what if the woman makes more than the man? Do you really need
Ooh.
That's what I.
So
Yeah,
let me just
this is what I'm saying. If she more likely, if she making more money, that means she's not spending a lot of time in the home. She probably at work most for 8 hours. You got to sleep for another one. The household can
That's
get out of
telling me that.
control.
Wait a minute.
Let him get his point out. Let him get his point out. And then y'all can get him. What you say,
The
Sheena?
house
Go
can
ahead,
get out.
Sheena.
The household can get out of control because she can't always watch him when it's just her by herself. Especially, I mean, if she got multiple kids, one kid might be easy. But if she got a whole bunch of kids and she got to be at work for 8 hours and then she got to be sleep, for good 6 hours or whatever. It can be hard, man. I mean, like I seen it. I seen boys get all in type of trouble trying, when their mama ain't around, doing all type of stuff. Even in Chicago, they more likely when those kids be out there trending in those parks, their parents probably be at work somewhere.
Anybody want to challenge him on his thoughts?
Well, I wanted to respond to the sister's comment about if the woman makes more than the man. And me and my wife have a joke in the house. So right now so we're like 70-30. So I make 70% of the income. But I always joke, I'm like, baby, if you end up making more than me, like we're gonna be in such a good place. So I'd be jumping for joy if my wife made more than me. But the reason that's the case, again, it's just for us. It's one income. So it's not, well, I got this much money, so I don't need your money, or vice versa. It's as a team, we got this much money. Now we got a big pot that we can use. So in the case, if you're developing a partnership and covenant relationship with a spouse, it should be teamwork all the way around. So it's not your money versus my money. Who got the bigger money? They run the house. It's a team. We got one pot, and there's one household to take care of all these kids. And when you look at it from that standpoint, you don't get into these power struggles about I don't need you because you don't even make enough money, or you don't make as much money as I do, or I make all the decisions because I make all the money. So it's a team. Unless it's a team, it's just a series of transactions between two adults.
Now let me go back to what April said though. She was saying too, like if a single person can have enough money, then they pretty straight.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give my friend for instance, the VP, right? Her husband they have one child, but I think she may more than one to a certain, like,
April, hold that thought again because your phone going in and out
why
again.
is my phone going in?
Okay, now you're good right there. Go. You good right there.
No, I was saying that she might make a little bit more than him, but I think once you get to a certain level of money making, you have access to do different things. She's always doing something with her kids. She's not always at work. But to touch on what Play said, I would hope that just because the woman made more money, you were still doing your 8 hours a day too, though.
Ooh.
So if both of us are out the house for 8 hours, then I don't understand the you need the man in the house part, or you need the partner in the house part. I don't understand the part. We both outside at the same time. These kids are still unsupervised.
Well, if they're in school, they shouldn't be unsupervised, right?
Well, yes, they should be. Right.
They need to be in school. CMS need to be handling them. But
if we talking what Play said, then if they're at school and we're at work, then we're both at home. So again, I'm the need the man in the house is, and I don't want to harp on that word, but the need the man in the house that's a bold claim. That's really bold.
and I am a product of not needing a man in the house. My mother worked 2 jobs. She had 3 children. She only made about $50,000 a year. We were never on public assistance. So she made it work. The sacrifice for that was the time though, right? She wasn't home like, we may have needed her to be, but none of us were in the streets. None of us were in gangs. None of us were on drugs. So it would have been great to have a man in the house for, of course, the support emotionally, financially, etc. But that need in the man in the house, that word is triggering.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Hey, hold on, Ed.
Hold on, play. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. Can we take the need part out? Can we say, is it important to have a man in the house? Not you need it, but is it important to have a man in the house?
It is important to have an emotionally available, healthy partnership. I do believe that children need to see healthy partnerships.
Correct.
One way or the other.
Absolutely.
That I will say. Yes, they do need to see that so they know how to navigate those places. Boys need to be able to see their mother treated well. And they also need to see their fathers or some man treat their mother well, and vice versa for women. So,
but just the body that is not supporting, providing, assist, just the body, no.
I agree with that.
Okay.
There is also this thing, and I don't think it's any of you fellas on the call, but there's also this thing that just the body is a thing. Yes, you're in the home, and yes, you provide your money, but you don't help with homework, or you don't make sure they got up and ate today. She's still carrying 100% of the emotional and home life just there. That's a thing that a lot of our grandparents and parents actually had to deal with, and I think that we saw that as we grew up, and we were like, I don't have to do this if it has to be this way.
Yeah, one thing I learned early on.
Derek, let me go to Facebook and come back to you, Derek. So, Daniel said again, not to offend anyone, but it's best to have both parents. After my divorce, I became a single dad, but a child needs both parents.
Absolutely.
And Antoine McGee said, some of us let our money raise our kids. Kids just need love and someone to talk someone to talk to, and not give money to.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Okay, go ahead, Derek. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't take what we saw our parents and grandparents do like as we gotta carbon copy that, because guess what? It's two different people that are coming together and forming that relationship. So each person is gonna be bringing their own history, their own expectations, desires. So yes, you can take the good parts of what you saw growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave the bad parts of what you saw growing up, but you got to make sure you're going out there and formulating your own family. I mean, and ladies, you can say yes or no if you agree. I'm sure the worst thing in the world is to hear, well, this is the way my mama cooked it, or this is the way my daddy did it. My daddy did. You know, we shouldn't say that. We should be like, look, two adults coming together, we got to make good decisions that are good for this unit. But again, taking what we learned from our grandparents and our parents, the best parts of that to help kind of shape what we're going to do in our own relationship. So yeah, I agree completely. We can't just do exactly what we saw growing up.
Now, let me ask you this question. Even though it's possible, it's definitely possible. I see my cousin do it. It's possible. But is it good to raise a child or children alone?
I mean, you're gonna do what you got to do. Ultimately, I mean, again, as we've all stated, we would like for the child to be raised with two parents, but I mean, you're gonna do what you have to do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing, it's a bad thing.
Right.
I think it's a individual thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some children are good, the other children aren't, and I think that all has to do with the healthiness of whomever, whether it's two people or one person who is raising them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Ed, I think you have questions on YouTube. I think you need to go into the comments.
Okay. Wait. Let me see. Read them all, play. You can read them. Oh, okay. I see. Never mind. I see.
You see it?
Okay. Somebody said, Derek, you are a unicorn because a lot of men get jealous when the woman makes more and they create a one-parent home by cheating and destroying the family just so they can feel like a man.
Try that one pot strategy and see how you feel. When it's one pot and people ain't comparing and competing for quote unquote power because of money, it's a nice feeling. When I used to get bonuses, we'd have a conversation. Now I'll admit sometimes I'd want a little bit more to myself, but if I knew my wife was going to take that money and do something good with it, I was going to give her some to do whatever she wanted to do. It works. So yes, if she gets a big come up, I'm cheering for that. And I don't see why any man wouldn't want one pot to get bigger. One pot getting bigger should be win-win for everybody.
Okay. We have another comment to you, Play. She said it was aggression, not the authority, because you were there and they didn't budge until you yelled. They moved out of fear. Not because you're the man, out of fear. Come on now, Play.
I had to check myself on that before, because I thought my son was really scared of me, and that made me feel bad. So later on, I had stopped yelling. At my kids. I never hit them. I don't hit them. So, the only thing I did was I grabbed my belt, like, hey, then But
now, Play. Let's go back what this lady saying to you. Do you felt because you was a man that they jumped in line, or was it just like you said because there was so much aggression and you yelling?
I think it was
Go ahead.
I think it was more of me being a man as far probably my deep voice, maybe, But I never had to tell my kids more than once, to do something, I don't really think it was aggressive. I just think that it was more that they know they might, maybe it was a little fear. It might be a little fear. I don't, but hey, I mean, you probably need a little bit fear, put a little fear in these kids, You know, because you met my kids, Ed. They're really respectful, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I also met my cousin April kids, and they respect her too, and she's a woman.
Yeah, and she taught
That
them
part.
respect.
But no, what you're saying, but no, we're gonna stay here for a second, play. You're saying because you was a man, they jumped the line. I said I know my cousin April too, not because she's my cousin. I just know she that. If we want to say some other words, she that one for a female.
They probably knew
but hold on, play. Wait, hold on. They would jump in line for her as well.
But they probably knew what she might do to him. Maybe I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I can't speak for her. But maybe, you know. But she probably taught. You know, I had learned a long time ago that it's better to talk to your kids the rights and wrongs instead of whooping them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. only the way I punish my kids, I don't whoop them. I talk to them and tell them why it was wrong. You know, the right or wrong or what they did.
But
you
play,
know,
I'm not gonna let you at the hot seat though. Play, I'm not letting you at the hot seat. You said because you was a man, they got in line. That's what I'm staying right there. I want to see you still stand by that.
I believe it. I believe a little bit.
But that's not true though, Clay, because women can also, you know what I'm saying, women can also do that. Like, all I gotta do is give my child a look and he'll straighten up. Mm-hmm. So it has nothing to do with whether if you're a man or not.
It's the authority that you carry.
Okay, so women carry that authority as well, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not the gender, it's the authority.
Oh, okay.
It's also the strategy you may use to discipline your kids. You know.
Well, yeah.
I don't think I'm not arguing none of that points. I'm just saying that you still agree with what you're saying before. That's all that one though. If you're like, nah, I'll take that back, or yeah, I'm standing 10 toes down on it, then you stand 10 toes down on it, and we can keep going. But I just want to know what you saying 10 toes down on that statement that this young lady said about it as being aggression.
I tell you this, my response to my father was different from the response from my mom.
Now I agree.
I'll tell you that.
I agree with that.
So I was raised in a 2-parent home. My father and my mother, I seen my mother put hands, not on me, but put hands on folks. And I seen my sister I seen my dad put hands on folks. So I don't even know. I can't even determine which one was the disciplinary area because they both did what they had to do when they had to do it. You know, and my father, he didn't have no aggression and yelling, but he had that look and he said it. What he said. I think I turned out pretty well, but I can speak for myself as coming out of 2-parent home. I think I turned out pretty well. I don't know about everybody else, but I turned out well. So I don't know if 2-parent home is. I would love it. Like when I had my wife, I was married. We was I think Obi said, we was a blended family, and I was pretty much the disciplinary area in the household. And I think it worked. Like I think April might have said, somebody said it because I think Lania said it because he was able to see how I treated his mom, and I was able to take him and show him how to pump gas, doors, take trash out, etc., like that. Now, with that being said, do you ladies feel like you can raise a boy, like really raise a boy to be a man on your own? And fellas, do you think you can really raise a woman, a girl to be a woman on your own?
You can't.
No.
You can't, because there are some things that only a man can teach his son. And then there are things that only a woman can teach. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you can't.
So what do you do then?
Well, CJ's father is in his life. So with that being said, if I feel like I need for him to jump in, then I'm going to have a conversation with him and he's going to jump in and do his part.
Okay, so somebody on YouTube, Crystal said, I did well with just a mother. Yes, you can. And Antoine on Facebook said, yes, you can. So 2 people saying yes, you can teach a young lady to be a woman if you're a man, and vice versa.
You can teach them.
You're saying too? Okay, come on in. Come on in the room.
No, I was just saying. when I was raising my children, I always looked at it from one standpoint, and that was I'm raising human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When my male children grow up, they're going to be men, and when a female child grows up, she's going to be a woman. Um, it's nothing I can do or not do that's going to make that the case. So I'm raising human beings, and I'm raising well-rounded human beings. Can I teach my boy how to throw a football? No, but that throwing a football does not make a man. All men don't know how to throw a football. So that's just, I look at it differently. Then when people bring that up, I just look at it differently. I don't look at it like, yes, you can. You can definitely raise a boy to be a man as long as he keeps breathing until he's 18 years old. You've made a man. So there you go.
Let me challenge you on that.
Okay.
So is he a man because of he's 18, 21 years old, or is he a man because the moral values and the stuff that makes be a man? Yeah, he's a male that's 18 to 21, but is he a man because other than his age? I'm just asking.
I don't think that there is I'm sorry, I don't know everybody's name. Let's say you and Obi are two totally different people. I don't know if y'all values line up. They may not. They may be a little different. It doesn't make either one of y'all less of a man. So, like, nobody is monolith. And at that point, then you can't. What this man does and what this man does is two different things. Doesn't take away somebody's manhood. Doesn't take away somebody's womanhood, I don't think. That's just me. Everybody don't look at it. I was raising human beings. I wasn't raising men. That's how I approached it.
Obi, what you think about that?
I mean, I agree. The only thing, I mean, there's some more intimate stuff that you can't show a girl that she needs to know when she's older and becomes a woman.
Could I get an example? I've always wanted just an example, and I'm not being rude. I just
like I can't show her how to get her nails done. I can't show her how to put a bra on. I can't teach her any of that because I don't know any of that.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I can't tell her how to be beautiful because I don't, that's not me. Just like I don't think women can tell a man or show a man how to protect a woman because that's something that men do. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying there's more things that's like kind of intimate that we can't show each other in that type of way.
I agree with that, Obi. Like it may be different, like the more personal things, right? Like a menstrual, like what it feels like being pregnant, birthing a child, taking care of yourself. It may be, I mean, he can do it verbally, right? But he can't explain to her what it feels like.
Yeah.
Right.
Like how to nurture, I can't teach a 16-year-old girl how to nurture a family. I can tell them, but I'm not going to be able to give them the intimate details they need to know.
Yeah, you can't.
Just like, and I hate to say this, but just like women can't explain to a man what it feels like to have sex because y'all have different parts.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for saying that, right? And I thank you for saying that because if I ask 5 different men what sex feels like, they're going to give me 5 different answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So nobody can, you're not me. So you don't know my actual experience for your daughter. You don't know her actual experience, but high level, you can. You could also tell her how to put on a bra, how to change a pad, what a menstrual cycle is.
Yeah.
None of those things. I think maybe I'm being a little too, I don't know, too literal, but to me, if you raise your daughter, you not being able to tell her how to put on a bra does not stop her from being a woman.
No.
You can find somebody else to tell her how to put on a bra. And you also are a nurturing parent. If you're a nurturing parent, you can teach your child how to nurture. But again, that's just me.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Facebook real quick. So Antoine McGee say, yes, you can teach them how to play football, basketball, etc. And then Edward Gardner, EG, Big Brother EG said, a kid can't be something they haven't seen. If a boy doesn't see that a man figure, then he's only receiving outside views and opinion of what a man is. Same thing for a girl. And then somebody on YouTube said, One thing I will not stray away from is it takes a village to raise a child. So that's what Edward said. Do you agree, disagree with what Edward said about a man need to actually see it versus a woman telling her, or vice versa? A young girl need to see it versus her dad telling her. Derek, I know you got something, Derek. Where you at?
Sorry, I'm sidebarring.
We'll come back to Derek.
Yeah, come back to
Linnea, what you think about that?
Can you repeat it?
So Edward said basically a boy needs to see a man and see, the views of a man instead of hearing outside views and opinions. He needs to actually see it. A girl needs to actually see a woman instead of hearing outside views, pretty much hearing what her dad tell her about being a woman and vice versa.
I agree with that. I mean, I agree with that, similar to what I just stated before. Seeing it and like learning like their their mannerisms and how they do certain things and how they feel about certain things, and like, I agree with that.
Okay. So Ed, there's a purity in seeing it firsthand, but I mean, what we're describing is survival, right? If I lose a kidney, I'm not gonna die if I still have one kidney left, because that kidney is gonna do double the work. And so the body's already built for survival. So what you guys are describing is like, okay, if I don't have a man in the house, if I don't have a woman in the house, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to Google some stuff. I'm gonna have to find some other people that can explain. So there may not be the like intimate experience part, but I don't think that negates the child's ability to learn from the parent, or from the parent to do a good job parenting, even if it's a mom parenting a boy and trying to raise him into being a productive human being. We're going to figure it out, right? Good parents figure it out. Even in 2-parent households, we didn't have kids with a manual. So we had to figure it out on our own anyway. So we're all figuring this thing out. I personally think it's a lot easier when you're figuring two people are figuring things out together. But if somebody doesn't have that other person, they're still going to figure it out.
Okay. This young lady on YouTube said a man is not needed because they have uncles to teach them the hard part, or the other side, aunts to teach daughters.
But that wasn't the statement. The statement was, do they need to see? So if they don't have uncles or they don't have men to see, then they won't know what to mimic. They won't know, you know what I mean? Like how they should respond to certain things. This is assuming that because if they don't have a father, they have another male figure to follow, or, you know what I mean, to idolize. But if they don't have that, then what?
That's true. That's true. That's why it still takes a village, what they said on Facebook.
That's true.
So are we still on the spectrum about if it takes 2 people or it can be 1? Have anybody changed their stands, or everybody?
It can be one.
It could be one.
I don't think anybody has been wrong. I think I think
there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just saying anybody take a different stance on what they think coming into the topic.
Or it's better to have 2.
Right.
Yeah.
It's better to have 2. Everybody agree it's better to have 2?
Yes. Yeah, it's ideal to have 2, but you can do it with 1. But it's better with 2. Yes.
Better.
So we go back to what Linnea said. You have 2, but if it's toxic, then don't do it just because it's gonna hurt the child and it's gonna hinder the child more than help the child out. Okay. Well, since that been said, I think we did pretty good tonight. Good conversation, good topic. Anybody got anything else they want to share?
Well, hold on. Crystal Clear said if they don't have that, they have grandparents. They still may not have grandparents.
But that's not necessarily true too, because what if your grandparents passed away?
Crystal is convinced that this baby got everybody.
She thought cousins, uncles,
and that's
I'm
great.
with you, Crystal.
If you have them.
Right? If you got that, that's good.
Yeah.
True.
But that's not everybody's situation. You know?
Let me ask y'all this question too. Okay, say if you single, right? And you separate from your mate, or y'all never was together, and then y'all became cool. Would you try to get back with that mate for your children?
I ain't doing nothing for no kids.
I tried, but it wasn't because of CJ. It was because we actually agreed that, hey, we were young, let's try it again. Of course, it didn't work, but, you know, but we still cool. Like, we co-parent very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm not doing anything for a child.
Right.
If they benefit from it, great. But if my mental is not together, if I like, you know, if I can't have peace, then how I can't be my best self for them. So I'm not. Nope.
No, I'm saying like, say if you and your, no, I want to use. Say, April, I don't want to no jinx and hex and nothing like that. Say, I'll use myself. Say me and
Please don't make him come back over here.
I'm just saying, say if you and your ex y'all broke up or whatever for years, and y'all became cool again, where y'all cordial, you actually can crack a couple of jokes with each other, and you're like, man, two-parent is better than one. Would you like think about it, get back with that person? Because now your mental is cool, because now y'all back cool, everything is better.
No, so honestly, when me and the kid's father broke up, we were always cool. We broke up because we broke up, not because, you know, anything else. Me and him didn't do it, but we were always cool, always laughed, always joked. He actually just called me like 5 minutes ago, so once I get off of here, I'm gonna call him back. And our child is an adult, so you know, our youngest is an adult, so that's that. But get back together? No.
Hey man, I had 3 girls. I ain't want no man in that house. I had to go back. I ain't want
I feel you on that. Hey, I feel you on
he
that.
He said, "Ain't no other man raising my kids."
I feel
so we play brought that. I'm gonna spin it real quick. Then we
that's fair now. That's good play. That's something else.
Hold on, I'm gonna spin it real quick. April, no, I'm gonna go with this one. So I'm gonna spin that. We'll play that said. If you don't live in the house with your mate, I know some of y'all married. Say if y'all don't, would you allow, or how you feel about your ex, new husband or new wife disciplining your child?
Nope.
I know your stand. We are. So, Linnea, you and y'all break up, right? Whatever, y'all been whatever. He gets another wife, or you get another husband. And his wife spanks your son. I mean, I don't know who gets spanks no more because it's 10, 11. I don't know what age stops. Naomi never got one, so I don't know. But let's say, how would you feel about that? This is hypothetical because in the name of Jesus, y'all never get divorced. Y'all gonna stay together forever. I ain't putting no hexes out there. But how do you feel about that?
That's not gonna happen. So I don't even we don't even have to have this conversation, because if it's not me or or my husband or one of the grandparents, they're not gonna put their hands on my child. It's gonna be a different type of situation.
There you go.
Derek, what you think?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine the impossible. Yeah, I mean, anybody's gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have a problem with like DJ said, I'm gonna have a problem with another man raising my children. I got 2 girls, and I just couldn't imagine not even disciplining, but just like showing affection or anything like that. I just couldn't imagine. So in my mind, I'm like, what do I need to do to make sure my family stays intact so that I don't ever have to look at another man raise my kids, discipline my kids, any of that. Like that's my mentality, and that's what's kept us going for 22 years. It's just like, not happening, not an option.
Okay, let me be totally transparent, and I'll ask OB and Play what they think about this. This what we talking about right now. So I did discipline my wife's child just because pretty much it was an absentee father that wasn't around. I never really seen him that much. And that's pretty much, if he was more, and Derek, you know this, if he's more around more, then I'd be like, hey, your son X, Y, and Z. But since he was like more of an absentee father, I did. Now with Mason, I'm in his life 100 grand, 10 toes down. I'm like Linnea said, if you touch Mason and I'm here in the Carolinas, 10 minutes away, it'd be a situation about that. But I did do it, but he lived like in a whole nother state and he wasn't around at all. So I had to be totally honest with that, with saying that. Obi, what you think about that?
I mean, I think it's situational because even though you could be married, life does happen. It happened to me. At that time, I didn't have to worry about another dude disciplining my kids, but just being mature about it. If I had a conversation with that person and he had a conversation with me and I understand where he was coming from and he understand where I was coming from, if he did have to discipline them, I would have a problem with it, but it wouldn't be much I could do because I'm not there. And I would have to hope and trust in God that he did what he needed to do to kind of rectify the situation. I wouldn't like it. Not no front, I wouldn't like it. But, it is what it is because if I'm in a situation and I'm with somebody and I have to discipline their child, I'm going to do what's right. I'm not going to try to beat the crap out of them, but I'm going to just have a conversation and do what's right. I'm not an advocate of beating anyway, but that's just me.
And see, that's my point too, because if somebody spanks your child is not you, you don't know how they spanking them. They might be. Mm-hmm. They might even not even like the child, or they might be doing it out of anger or out of aggression or whatever the circumstance might be. And it's funny because we had this whole conversation at Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, and me and April was going against the whole house about this because we definitely not. If we're here, absolutely not. Because but then it was like, well, how you tell another man what to do in his house? Can you really go in that house and say, don't spank my child into another man's house? Or to another woman's house. It's that woman's house. So you're going to try to make rules in their house. So I just want to see what y'all thought. Play what you thought, and then we'll get out of here. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, as far as somebody disciplining my kids, I would have a problem with it because I don't know what his intent, the person's intent was, I probably don't like my kids, you know what I'm saying? But I was super active in my kids' life, so, I ain't never went through it, so I can't really speak too much on it, because I was super active in my kids' life. I was always, I never stopped, even when me and my wife separated, I never stopped my daddy duties. If I had to pick them up from school, that was, whatever my job was, I continued to do it, But I did not, I had to go back because I do not want, I don't know, there's some creepy ass niggas out there. So
that is definitely true.
Yeah. So I had to go back, and be with my kids until they grew up.
Well, Facebook Live, y'all heard it here. On Nutz and Boltz of Life, we talked about 2-parent versus single parent. We talked about money. We talked about relationships. We talked about a good stance. And we even talked about if someone can discipline your child that's not you. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys enjoyed the topic. If you ever want to be on the panel, please let me know. We would love to have you and your views and opinions. Thank you for the comments. YouTube, thank you for your comments. Derek, thank you, my brother. Ania, keep smiling. Thank you. Y'all was great. Facebook Live, I'm about to go off. Panel, you guys are great. I enjoyed the topic. I hope you guys come back again, maybe in the future for another topic. You guys continue to follow us. YouTubers, Derek, Linnea, and just thank you. Love, peace, and respect to everybody. We out here.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks.